Why deep sea creatures get creepier the deeper you go.
Beneath the surface of our oceans lies a world we were never meant to see.
Yeah, I don't want to go there either.
A realm where light dies and life takes on forms that shouldn't be possible.
This is where you guys want to swim, by the way. It's actually just like a nightmare.
As we descend deeper, crossing the sunlight zone, then the twilight zone, then the midnight zone, the creatures we encounter turn progressively stranger.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm pausing straight away, but it just creeps me out that I share a planet with half these things. Like, it actually bothers me that I at any moment, well, not at any moment, but I could bump into these things at some point in my existence, and I hate that. Oh, that one's kind of cute. Oh, no, the other one was.
Mars. We've mapped distant galaxies, but the deep sea, we've explored less than 5% of it. We know more about the surface of the moon than we do about what's happening 6,000 feet below our own oceans.
I'm actually happy with not knowing. Like, I actually think this is where I will plead ignorance. I just don't. So cute. Pfft. What's up, Marsh? I actually just don't like the ocean.
The ocean is bright and full of life. Sunlight fuels plankton blooms, which feed fish, which feed entire food chains stretching from coral reefs to whales.
Am I meant to be impressed?
But drop below 200 meters, and that light begins to fade. We are now entering the twilight zone, a vast belt of ocean stretching down to 1 kilometer deep. Here, the sun's rays are too weak for photosynthesis. The forests of plankton vanish. There are no plants, no green energy. Only the slow snowfall of particles drifting from above. Tiny fragments of plankton, waste, and the remains of the dead.
Do you reckon there's like a fucking massive thing down there? Like absolutely huge. Like, you know, like Subnautica sized like creature down there, and we just don't know because we can't get down there. Because honestly, I know this is deeper than I'll ever get a chance to go, but oh my god, this is how I feel just swimming in the ocean. I feel like one of these things is just gonna like lose track of where it is and just come up and get me. There's giant squids, yeah, they can stay down there, I think.
Scientists call it marine snow. To us, it looks insignificant. To the creatures here,
that's cool.
It is life itself. And where there is food, there is...
Is that a fucking... like a baby bottle made from a fish?
It is life itself.
What the...
And where there is food, there is life. But not life as we know it. The animals of the Twilight Zone have evolved into some of the strangest forms on Earth. Many are transparent, their bodies like glass. The glass squid drifts with organs barely visible, a ghost against the blue. The glass octopus is almost invisible, its eyes the only solid feature. Why so many species take on transparency here is still a mystery. It may be camouflage, a way to vanish in the faintest light. Or perhaps a way to conserve energy in a...
Okay, that actually looks alien. Like, I don't actually hate that because that genuinely looks like what we'll find at, like, on another planet. That is 100% the most alien thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That looks like the inside of a lava lamp. And I thought I would hate everything in this video, but I feel like that would be cool to look at. But they can't come up or they will explode. Jesus.
World where every pigment costs more than it gives back. Others choose the opposite strategy, not invisibility, but light. In the gloom, some creatures create their own glow through a chemical reaction known as bioluminescence. To us, it's dazzling, flashing dots, glowing patterns,
Ooh.
entire bodies flickering like lanterns. But here, light is survival. Some use it to lure prey, some to find a mate, and some to disappear. This trick is called counter-illumination.
That was really pretty on an OLED, just to flex the OLED.
From below, predators can spot a dark silhouette against the faint shimmer above. To hide, animals like the firefly squid cover their bellies with light-producing organs. They adjust the brightness to perfectly match the glow from the surface, erasing their outline and vanishing into the background.
That is so smart.
It is camouflage by imitation, making light to disappear into light.
Like, I know we got some like really special brains, and mine doesn't work that well, but overall they're pretty impressive for the rest of the species on this planet. But why did they get all the cool shit? Like, you know, like the visually cool shit. Like, we're quite boring. And then there's things that can just basically start a light show. It's got inbuilt RGB. Like, that's awesome.
Other species play stranger games. The bloody belly comb jelly shines in deep red. Down here, red light never penetrates, making the jelly appear completely black. Inside its stomach, bioluminescent prey is concealed, hidden from predators that might otherwise detect its glow. In a world defined by light, or the lack of it, every adaptation revolves around who can be seen
These
and who
light
cannot.
ones. These light ones are cool.
But the Twilight Zone holds more than tricks of light. It also hosts some of the ocean's greatest spectacles.
Yo, let me have that. Oh my god, can you imagine if we ever get like digital tattoos? Like, you could just like get one on your chest that pulses like that. That'd be sick. If I reincarnate into another animal, I want to be anything in the ocean. I want to be a shark so I can chase you down.
Each night, as darkness falls above, billions of creatures rise from the depths. Lanternfish, squid, jellies, an entire army of the deep, climbing towards the surface to feed on plankton under cover of night. At dawn, they sink back down, vanishing into the gloom. This vast daily movement is called the diel vertical migration. It is the largest synchronized migration on Earth, greater in numbers than all herds, all flocks, all swarms combined. And yet, despite its scale, this event remained hidden until World War II.
World War II? Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say something and I got like in a trance. I was like fixated on how satisfying it looked when they moved. Why is this making me kind of like the ocean?
Sonar operators detected a mysterious false seabed, a dense layer that rose every night and sank every morning. It wasn't the ocean floor at all. It was life, an entire invisible world moving as one. The Twilight Zone is where the familiar rules of life begin to bend, where transparency is armor, where light is used to hide, where billions of animals rise and fall in a rhythm older than humanity itself. This is the threshold of the deep, the first layer of a world we still cannot explain.
Did we just see that thing just shit? Did he just do it? Did we just get crop dusted by a fucking squid?
The first layer of a world we still cannot explain. Past 1 kilometer, all sunlight disappears. We have reached the midnight zone, a realm stretching down to 4,000 meters.
Okay, we're in the fucking
scary
zone
now. No
now.
dawn, no dusk, only endless night. Temperatures hover just above freezing. The pressure is hundreds of times greater than at the surface. To human eyes, this seems like a world where nothing could survive. And yet, it is here that evolution becomes most creative. Take the dragonfish. Unlike most creatures, it can produce red bioluminescence. To most eyes in the deep sea, red light is invisible, which makes the dragonfish's glow a private search.
Okay, so I actually have a question here. And maybe even Google this. I don't know. Or drop it in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, right? How does evolution know that? Like, they've evolved to emit red bioluminescence, right? How how does the evolution like learn that it's invisible? Like, did they try other colors first, or is that just they just got a one and done? Because that is pretty sick. That's the one thing I don't get. Like, how does it know?
Light. It illuminates prey without giving itself away. Even more mysterious, its eyes are specially adapted to detect this hidden color. It's as though the dragonfish has invented a secret wavelength seen only by itself. Other predators here are masters of disappearance. Some fish are cloaked in ultra-black skin, so efficient at absorbing light that it reflects less than 0.5% of what touches it.
Oh.
Even when a spotlight from a submarine beams directly on them, they almost vanish.
I don't like that one.
And then there are the anglerfish.
Oh, this is the one out of Nemo, right?
Perhaps the strangest hunters in the deep. The female dangles a luminous lure in front of her mouth, drawing in unsuspecting prey. But her greatest mystery lies in reproduction. Males are born tiny, weak, and helpless.
Why is that so adorable? You come from this to this. I was like, okay, the male's gonna be tiny, but they're gonna look like some like menacing piranha thing, and I see the cutest fucking fish of all time. What's that about? Way to subvert my expectations. The ocean is both fascinating and terrifying at once. It is. It is. Evolution is sick. Like, they've evolved to have a light bulb that tricks people into coming close. It's all a trap? Yeah.
Their only task is to find a female, a nearly impossible feat in the vast dark ocean.
I mean, that is literally like most of male existence, I feel like, nowadays. I mean, they're not too different.
When he does, he latches onto her with special jaws, fusing his body.
We don't do that. We don't.
Into hers. His organs wither away until he is little more than a sack of sperm, permanently attached, nourished by her blood.
Well, we definitely don't do that. I take it back.
One of the most extreme
Nothing
forms
alike
of sexual adaptation known in the animal kingdom. Not every animal here is a hunter. Some are opportunists, scavengers waiting for the fall of food from above. A single whale carcass sinking to this depth becomes an oasis, feeding entire communities for decades.
It actually looks so alien.
And yet, even with submersibles, what we know of this zone is fragmentary. For every species documented, scientists believe dozens remain unknown. Each dive into the Midnight Zone uncovers creatures never before seen by science.
Oh
Animals
my
with
god, that
glowing
is
eyes,
so cool.
needle-like
Wait.
seen by science.
Oh, that actually looks like something in space. That is actually so sick. Oh yeah, I have a question. For chat and the YouTube comments. If someone said they would give you £100,000 or $100,000, they found a way that you can go this low. It's completely safe, but you have to spend 2 nights. So 2 days, 2 nights, down here. Would you do it? Because there's no amount of money on earth that is there's no amount of money that puts me down there. Safe to go down there. Once you're down there, whatever happens, happens. You are studying. No, it's safe to go down there, but once you're down there, they can't do anything. It's just you on your own. You wouldn't even have to pay you. I would, yes, if I'm safe. I'd do it for nothing if I was safe. Okay, for 2 hypotheticals there. Even if I was safe, I would not do it. I would be terrified. I might have a heart attack. 2, we do the one where if it wasn't, like, it's safe to go down there. Like, the pressure's not going to make you pop or anything, right? And you can come back and you're all fine. But you're exposed to the elements down there. And whatever happens, happens. One of my greatest fears is going down there and I'll do it for 100k. Oh, bro, no, there's no shot. It can't be that much of a fear. I genuinely think if someone said £1 billion, I wouldn't do it. No thanks. Yeah, that's the right answer. If I was meant to see shit at the bottom of the ocean, it would be on the beach. Touche. Free, we can't make fun of you unless you stream down there. I would stream down there and it would literally be like me playing Resident Evil.
Animals with glowing eyes, needle-like teeth, or bodies so fragile they disintegrate when brought to the surface. This is the Midnight Zone, a world where light is weapon, where invisibility is survival, where even reproduction follows rules beyond our imagination.
What's that on his nose?
Beyond our imagination.
Dickhead fish.
4 kilometers down, we leave the open waters and touch the bottom of the abyss. This is the abyssal plain, one of the largest habitats on Earth, covering more than half of the planet's surface. And yet, it is also one of the least understood. Here, there are no landmarks, no coral reefs, no kelp forests, no towering mountains. Only a vast desert of mud stretching for thousands of kilometers in every direction.
Well, if it's just mud.
Temperatures never...
If it's just mud, we don't need to go down there. Let's just leave it alone. I don't want us to go so far down and then, like, you can't put the genie back in the bottle type thing. What if you, like, awake something, like Godzilla or something, and then it just comes and tramples a city every now and then? I think we should just leave it alone.
Rise above 4 degrees Celsius.
Oh, he's doing flips.
Survival here demands strategies unlike anywhere else on Earth. One adaptation is size.
They've got legs?
Many animals of the abyss are giants compared to their shallow water relatives. Giant isopods, the size of puppies, scuttle across the sediment.
Bro was fancy as hell.
On Earth.
Jeez.
One adaptation will water melt the
fish.
sediment. Amphipods, normally tiny, can grow longer than a human hand. Even the colossal squid, among the largest invertebrates alive, is thought to prowl these depths. Scientists call this phenomenon deep-sea gigantism, but why it occurs remains an open mystery. Some suggest...
Okay, so you have confirmed that there is deep-sea gigantism. Leave it alone! I do not want to know what gets more giant down there.
It conserves energy. Others think it provides better defense against scarce predators. The truth is, we still don't know. Another oasis of life arrives when giants from above fall. A dead whale sinking to the abyssal plain becomes a rare jackpot. Within hours, scavengers gather.
Is that like their... That's kind of like their Uber Eats then, I guess. Like a dead whale just fall in there. They're like, oh, so someone got pizza.
Sharks, hagfish, amphipods. Soon after, stranger creatures move in. Bone-eating worms called osidax colonize the skeleton, feeding on oils locked inside the bones.
Bone-eating worms.
Entire ecosystems spring up on a single carcass, lasting decades, until all that remains is dust. Other animals here survive on less dramatic meals. The vampire squid, despite its terrifying name, is not a predator at all. It collects drifting particles of marine snow using long, sticky filaments. Even in the
Is that real? It looks like CGI. There's a weird glory hole.
Oxygen-starved depths, it thrives, using a blood pigment with the highest oxygen affinity of any known cephalopod. In this desert of silt and silence, life is slow. Creatures grow slowly, reproduce rarely, and live for centuries.
Looks like a baby elephant.
The Greenland shark, which can dwell at these depths, may live over 400 years, the longest lifespan of any vertebrate known.
That's Ill's favorite.
Time itself seems to move differently here. And yet, even the abyss is not empty. Each grain of sediment hides countless microbes, recycling nutrients, sustaining a hidden food web that we are only beginning to map. The abyssal plains remind us of Earth's scale. They cover more territory than all forests, grasslands, and deserts combined, yet remain largely unseen, unexplored, and unexplained. Beyond the abyssal plain lies an even deeper frontier, the trenches. Carved by tectonic forces, these are the scars of the Earth, places where one plate of the planet's crust slides beneath another, pulling the ocean floor down into unfathomable depths. Here begins the Hadal Zone, named after Hades, the underworld. It stretches from 6,000 meters all the way down to the deepest known point on Earth.
That's a fitting name. That is a really fitting name. Like the underworld. Yo, this looks like the ruins of like some civilization. I know it's like not, but it really does. But maybe we shouldn't. Actually, no, I want them to leave it alone. But maybe we should ignore the planets. Maybe we should figure out our own.
Nearly 11,000 meters below the surface. To put that in perspective, if Mount Everest were dropped into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be more than a mile underwater.
What?
Conditions here are almost beyond comprehension. Temperatures remain near freezing. Pressures can exceed 1,000 times what we experience at the surface. To a human body, it would be instantly fatal. And yet, life not only survives
burst, right?
It thrives. Among the most astonishing creatures are the snailfish that inhabit the very bottom of trenches. Fragile, gelatinous, with thin, translucent skin, they look too delicate to exist in such a hostile world. Yet they are the deepest living vertebrates ever discovered, thriving where no other fish can.
Yeah, I actually have that question. They all look like really soft and squidgy. Like if I grabbed one, it would be soft. But it just said there was like how much pressure? How does that not crush them? I don't understand that. Like I genuinely don't understand it. Like I'm hoping he explains, but I just don't get it.
Their bodies lack rigid bones, and their cell structures are reinforced with unique molecules that keep proteins functioning under crushing pressure. Other inhabitants are smaller but no less extraordinary. Amphipods, shrimp-like crustaceans, swarm across the trench floor in huge numbers.
Oh, I hate those things.
Recent studies found plastic fibers inside their bodies, proof that even these most remote habitats are touched by human waste. It is a sobering reminder that the deep is not as isolated as we once believed.
We're even polluting down there? Jesus. Ooh.
At hydrothermal vents along trench walls, life takes an even stranger turn. Here, microbes feed not on sunlight or marine snow, but on chemicals spewing from the Earth's crust. Hydrogen sulfide, methane, even metals dissolved in superheated water. Entire communities of worms, clams, and crabs depend on these microscopic pioneers.
Oh, these are actually making me feel sick.
It is a food web based on chemistry, not photosynthesis, showing us that life can exist in conditions utterly alien to the surface. These discoveries fuel a larger question. If life can adapt to such extremes here on Earth,
was that furry crab?
Could it not also exist on other worlds?
Well, that was a furry crab.
Discoveries fuel a larger question. If life...
Oh. I didn't know crabs could have hair. That's crazy.
Life can adapt to such extremes here on Earth, could it not also exist on other worlds? Icy moons like Europa and Enceladus hide oceans beneath their frozen crusts, warmed not by sunlight, but by internal heat. To study the Hadal Zone is to glimpse the possibilities of extraterrestrial oceans. And yet, despite its importance, we know almost nothing about the trenches. Fewer people have visited the Mariana Trench than have stood on the surface of the moon. Each dive brings back creatures unknown to science, from translucent sea cucumbers drifting like parachutes, to gelatinous blobs with no clear anatomy, to microbes.
I do have a point. I know it's all evolution and everything like that, but what is the point of that existence? Like, there's some that don't even like have a brain, right? They just float and hope that food. Like, what's the purpose of that? I don't understand. They're just a gelatinous blob. I know some people like that, actually. I'm going to stop questioning.
Whose metabolisms remain a mystery. For centuries, humans imagined the trenches as lifeless voids, silent graves beneath the sea. What we found instead is resilience. Life that bends, reshapes, and reinvents itself to endure the most extreme pressures imaginable. For all we have seen, the deep sea remains a world of questions. More than 80% of the ocean is still unexplored.
That's crazy.
Each dive into the depths, each ROV expedition, brings back creatures never before imagined. Transparent fish, glowing worms, jellies that break every rule of biology. It is a world where discovery is not rare, but constant. Even among the animals we know, so much remains unsolved. Why do so many deep-sea creatures grow to enormous sizes? The giant isopods, the colossal squid.
Yo, people eat those isopods, right?
The amphipods, the length of a human hand. Why do others turn nearly invisible? Or cloak themselves in ultra-black skin that absorbs almost all light? The greatest mystery of all? Maybe bioluminescence. Nearly 3/4 of deep-sea life produces light, yet the reasons vary wildly. Hunting, hiding, mating, or simply surviving. We still cannot explain how many of these species evolved such complex chemical systems, or why some can glow in colors that no other animal can see. There are deeper puzzles still. For now, these are mysteries without explanation. Perhaps that is what makes them so powerful. They remind us that Earth still holds secrets. Secrets worth protecting. Secrets worth discovering.
That was actually a really good video. That's my favorite thing in this whole video. I'm glad they went back to it. I'm glad. This thing, I wish I could have like a desktop background of just that thing going around. That would be really cool.
Is what it's secrets worth protecting. Secrets worth discovering.
So that's The Last Frontier. But that was actually a really cool video. I really enjoyed that actually. I didn't think I would enjoy a sea video. I'm known to have a hatred for the ocean. But that was actually really cool. I really enjoyed that. What did you guys think? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.